So, 227, are we going to be ego-driven today, or are we going to surrender to the higher will, God's will? 227, this is my holy instant of release. This could be my holy instant of release. 227, this is my holy instant of release. Father, it is today that I am free because my will is yours. I thought to make another will with my ego, yet nothing that I thought apart from you exists. So that's saying that, like, I've created this grandiose illusion, but actually nothing exists. Nothing that I thought apart from you exists. And I am free because I was mistaken and did not affect my own reality at all by my illusions. So who I truly am is still perfectly perfect, perfectly perfect, even though I ran around in madness for a while, making illusions. So all your mistakes, it's affected nothing. Now I give them up and lay them down before the feet of truth to be removed forever from my mind. This is my holy instant of release. Father, I know my will is one with yours. So that's pretty massive if you can follow along and do any of that. And then, so today we find our glad return to heaven, which we never really left. The Son of God this day lays down his dreams. The Son of God this day comes home again, released from sin and clad in holiness, with his right mind restored to him at last. So I think this is a good lesson, like, to maybe evaluate, like, where are you at in your creation of illusions, right? Are you still being governed by chasing idols and falling into judgment and hatred and war and all of that? Are you still being motivated by the ego? That means you're motivated by fear and, like, overwhelmment and, like, I gotta do something right now. That's ego. Or are you kind of ready just to stop playing the ego's game, in a sense, knowing that everything is still totally cool in heaven, A Course in Miracles, and all these mistakes that you've made, it was just a dream. So you lay down your dream at the feet of truth. That's pretty glorious. You lay them down before the feet of truth to be forever removed from your mind. That's where it starts to feel really good, because now you are free mentally. So anyways, that's lesson 227. This is my holy instant of release. Jesus, for lesson 227, said, it is a challenge for you to, start to follow a higher will. It's a challenge for the ego to surrender power, because that's what the ego is all about: power, control, fear, manipulation, all that maniacal stuff. So it is going to be a little bit of a challenge to surrender your power to a higher will, to follow a higher will, to listen to subtle guidance instead of the ego's loud, boisterous voice, pushy voice. But when you realize that you cause your suffering, you've caused all your suffering by following the ego and by choosing judgment instead of love, then it does become easier to follow the higher will. And when you listen to your subtle guidance, you get the gifts of surrender. The ego will run you into a whole crazy jumping on the first thing out of fear. But if you can sit back, my dear, and let it all play out, and just see what happens, see what's going to transpire, stay calm and receive the gift. Receive the gifts of surrender, knowing that you are cared for. If you can let it all play out, you will see that everything is truly fine. And a lot of times it works out better than you ever could have imagined. Sometimes when I sit down to listen to Tina Louise Spalding channel Jesus, and it's like, how am I supposed to get this on 2 pieces of paper? Sometimes like I just have to like think, what are the takeaways? Stay clam. I'm really nothing without spell checker. Stay clam, you guys. Stay calm. Stay calm. The next time the ego starts to twist your panties, like, just stay calm. Just settle down. Quit jumping, thinking that you have to do something right now or the rest of your life is ruined. That's what the ego makes you think. The ego makes you believe this story, this illusion, like it matters. It doesn't. It really doesn't. What matters is you stop judging, you stop hating, you stop warring, you stop fighting. What matters is that you choose love, you choose to listen to Holy Spirit, that quiet voice, God. You choose to just be at peace. That's what truly matters. And that's when the dream settles down. That's when things start falling into place. That's when you, with your confidence, your divine confidence, knowing that you're cared for right now in heaven, right? Or with God or whatever, like that carries over to what you're involved in and what you're creating. So know that you are cared for always. Like, okay, it doesn't really matter what the ego wants to do with me today, and everything is truly fine. Everything is truly fine. And if you can sit back instead of jumping into the chaos, fighting, being involved, thinking that is real and that it matters, if you can just sit back, see what happens, see what just, transpires. Jesus used the example of like if you would get fired from your job. Think to yourself, you know what, I have really not really wanted to work here, and maybe this was a gift, right? And then instead of like jumping on the first position that opens because you just think you can't survive without a paycheck for a week, like Jesus was saying, why don't you just sit back and wait till the right thing comes along for you? So that was just one small example. So he says a lot, she says a lot, they say a lot, and I can only get down on paper what I can muster up. Pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook, Lesson 227, Insights. This is my holy instant of release. Every moment is my holy instant of release. I don't have to wait to be released from the tyranny of the ego. In every moment, I have a choice. I choose either illusion or reality. Though choosing illusions blinds me to reality, reality remains ever present, unchanged by my choice to believe illusions are real. If I experience a world of separation, it is because I have chosen it. It doesn't seem like I have anything to do with its seeming existence, yet in every moment that I am perceiving separation, it is because I am choosing to see it. Hidden deep below conscious awareness is the desire for specialness that chooses separation over unity and wholeness. From that desire and choice, I get everything that comes with the belief that separation is real. Conflict, loss, lack, loneliness, fear, and guilt. These are but a few of the symptoms of having made the choice for illusion rather than truth. Gratefully, the choice for illusion can never be permanent, for my mind remains eternally united with God. The memory of my source remains with me forever, even though it may seem to be forgotten beneath layer upon layer of illusions. I may believe I have left God and experience it as so, but God has never left me. His love still embraces me and supports me and calls me to return to the home where I belong. I feel that call in my heart. It is the cause of all my searching. While the ego directs me to search where I cannot find the love and peace I want, the Holy Spirit is ever present, ready to guide me where I will find the release I seek. I am grateful for the Course, which teaches me how to recognize the false images offered by the ego. I am grateful it teaches me how to bring these images to the Holy Spirit, who shows me they have no substance and no effect on the truth of what I am. With his help, I lay them down, recognizing that what has no effect must not exist. Every instant is my moment of opportunity. Today, I am dedicated to practicing recognizing false images and taking them to the Holy Spirit, where he helps me release them in a gentle laughter and joy. And thus, I am released. I quiet my mind and ask the Holy Spirit to bring me my holy instant of release. The Holy Spirit responds by bringing the light of peace and a sense of well-being into my mind. I feel washed in peace. I relax in its gentle presence. I rest from the busyness of the world. I am reminded that there is nothing my holiness cannot do. And bringing me the holy instant is easy, as my willingness grows to accept the truth. The truth is always in my mind, waiting for my acceptance. I open to it now. Behind every illusion, there God is. Behind every form, there is wholeness. Behind every false idea lies the truth. Only God exists. Today I would accept my holy instant of release. Today I would let illusions be released. Today I would be free of the limiting ideas of the ego. I would learn to laugh at them, for they could never be true. I would learn to accept God's peace and follow the lead of the Holy Spirit, which always brings me my holy instant of release when I am ready to accept it. And the more I practice this, the easier and more natural it becomes. That release, even in the temporary and incomplete way I allow it in my mind, is such an incredible blessing. I am left feeling as if God himself has just given me a gentle kiss on the cheek and a warm hug. Wow, what will my life be like when I completely surrender to God's love and his will? pathwaysoflight.org. Yeah, that's a good thing to say. What will my life be like when I get better at this and I completely surrender to God's will? What will my life be like? Because it does feel better and better the more and more we practice listening to the Holy Spirit instead of the ego. You have to admit you're feeling better now. You have to admit that things are getting more peaceful and more loving and less chaotic in your mind. So yeah, to think, wow, what will it be like if I fully line up with this? Like, whoa. It's fun for me sometimes to call in to Pathways of Light. They've got telephone conferences and study groups and things like that. And it's really fun for me to hang out even for an hour or so with people who are more practiced than me, because I hear the calmness in their voice and I see their reflections are more kind of guided by the Holy Spirit than mine are. I know. And I am definitely inspired to keep on going, because it's like, oh, yeah, I'm still falling trap for the illusions, right? Sometimes I'm still following the ego's response, which is always combative, always for me. So I should definitely know who I'm listening to and which path I'm on. And it does feel better to be following the holy mind, the holy instant. So lesson 227, this is my holy instant of release. I ask the Holy Spirit for my release. It is today that I am free, because my will is my Father's. My will is God's. My will is divine. That's how I will be free today. So anyways, I got to get to work because, I mean, I know what Jesus said, but I still need a paycheck. I know what Jesus said, and I don't want to get fired, okay? I don't know if I'm at the point where I can be like, oh, yes, I will be taken care of. I am always taken care of. But also, what more can I say other than the fact that, like, I need to follow higher will at this point? And then, yeah, feel that comfort, feel that love. Just sit back and be guided, see what happens. I don't have to make anything happen. I mean, it's all good. It's all good.